What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Off the Schneid. Today we're going to be looking at the Los Angeles Chargers, taking a look at their team needs, heading into the NFL draft, post-free agency for the most part. Obviously free agency is still open, but here we are. So what do the Chargers need? Obviously they got a guy. Justin Herbert, set almost every... he was one 40-yard pass away from every, meaningful rookie quarterback record, destroyed the touchdown mark, and was, 40 yards shy of Andrew Luck's record. But, for all intents purposes, he's a guy. Austin Eckler, as long as he can stay healthy, dude's a specimen, just a physical freak. As long as he, stays healthy, they'll be just fine there. Justin Jackson, Joshua Kelly, they're okay. They could add a guy. They could definitely add a guy in the draft a little later, 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that. Even a 3rd round pick, maybe, we'll see. But, they're okay as far as that is concerned, quarterback and running back. Tight ends, they brought in Jared Cook to replace Hunter Henry. And you know what? Listen, for the most part, this offense is the exact same as it was last year. And, that was fine. They played in a lot of shootout games, and they probably will again this year with the way their defense looks. But it's more or less a very, very, very similar offense to what it was last year. They definitely need some help on the offensive line, mostly just on the left side. There's potentially maybe a trade there for Orlando Brown with the Ravens. I'm not sure if you want to trade 13 for that. I'm not sure. We'll see when the draft comes, and I do expect potentially a trade to happen. Maybe not with the Chargers, but a trade to happen with the Ravens and Orlando Brown. And this would be a landing spot, in my opinion. One of them. It would make that line quite a bit better and basically complete it if they were able to pull off a trade like that. But I digress. We'll move to wide receiver. They still got an absolute stud. Keenan Allen is still absolutely a guy. Mike Williams, has been, for the most part, a little inconsistent, but still, I still think that he can definitely get it done. I think this is the last year of his contract right now, and we'll see what they do moving forward there. I think they probably bring him back. I would. Tyron Johnson and Jalen Guyton I liked last year. They had the big play guys, and downfield options type of a thing. I liked both those guys last year, and I think that they could improve. So I think they're fine there with Joe Reed and KJ Hill as well. KJ Hill, I believe, is the career receptions leader at Ohio State, I believe. So, I think they're fine at wide receiver. You might want to add another tight end to eventually probably take over. I'm not sure if Steven Anderson or Donald Parham are either of those guys now that Hunter Henry's gone. But obviously Jared Cook can get it done this year for sure. But you might want to add a guy, for down the line type of thing. Again, shore up that offensive line a little bit. And I think this offense is in pretty good shape. Again, I'll go back to it. They're more or less the same offense as they were last year, and they were just fine. It's just, shootouts. You win some, you lose some. So moving to the defensive side of the ball, this is where I think they need the most help, and where they might struggle a fair bit. Heading into the season, they have yet to sign Melvin Ingram. I'm not sure if they will re-sign him. I'm sure they would like to have him back, but I think he wants pretty big money, and I'm not sure they're prepared to pay it. Joey Bosa's back. They likely move to, some sort of a 3-4 variant defense, under Brandon Staley and Ronald Hill, similar to what they ran with the Rams. So, and I think that that's probably a good move with Uchenna Nwasu, Kyler Fackrell, those couple guys that can come in and be that, outside linebacker, edge rusher type of a guy with Joey Bosa. And does Joey Bosa completely fit that defense? Maybe not, but it's Joey Bosa. You're not going to move on from a guy like Joey Bosa. You'll find a place to he'll play. He's going to play, and he's going to dominate and be a very solid player no matter where you put him on your line, kind of thing. Linval Joseph can plug up the middle. Jerry Tillery needs to take that step again. I think he had a pretty good year last year, but if he could take another step forward, that would definitely, help out that whole defensive line, kind of a thing. And then moving back, they need some help at linebacker. They've always had injury problems, you know, with Denzel Perriman and a couple other guys I can't remember off the top of my head at the linebacker position. Now that they've got Kenneth Murray, one of the captains of the defense, calling the plays, he's definitely a guy. Kazir White, you know, can help, but I think they need, you know, some help at the linebacker position. You know, especially a couple guys that can get after the quarterback. It'll be an interesting where guys line up on this defense. If I'm being honest, it'll be very interesting. As far as the back end, they got some definite pieces. Derwin James, again, if he can stay healthy, there always seems to be. Here's the thing: there always seems to be something in the water for the Chargers, whether in San Diego or LA. It doesn't matter. There just seems to be something in the water where guys get hurt. They have a guy who is a guy on their team go down every year, every single year, and it must get frustrating. You know, it must get frustrating in that organization, but it happens every single year. So hopefully Derwin James can stay healthy this year. You know, I suspect that he will. He's definitely a guy. Michael Davis was very good last year. Chris Harris is one of the best in the game. But they definitely need some pieces back there to help out, especially I think they're going to struggle. I mean, I always say you need a difference maker at every level of the defense, which this team absolutely does have with Joey Bosa, Kenneth Murray, and then Derwin James, Chris Harris, you know, even you could throw Michael Davis potentially in there. But either way, they do have a guy, but I still think that they're going to struggle. I still think that they're going to struggle to stop offenses, especially in this division. So we'll see, and they do have a decent amount of draft capital there to work with. I think that's 9 picks there. So 4 in the top 100. Then they got 118 there as well. Do they want to move up, down? I mean, moving down and adding another top 100 pick if they can might not be a bad idea. You know, they've got a lot of holes, especially on defense, but you know, they're as a team, they're not in a bad spot. You know, they won 7 games last year with a rookie quarterback and a bunch of injuries, you know, up and down the roster. So yeah, I think the Chargers have a lot to look forward to. Like once you get that guy at quarterback, which they absolutely have, you can kind of, you know, work it from there. And they've got studs at, you know, every level of this team kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. I think the Chargers have a lot of good things going on, and if you're a Chargers fan, you're happy to have your guy at quarterback finally. Not finally. I mean, Phillip Rivers was there for a long time, but you know what I mean. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So I appreciate the watch. Thanks for stopping in. Hit the like and subscribe button on your way out if you don't mind. Tell a friend. Keep an eye out, I should say, for the mock draft coming in a couple of weeks before the draft. And we'll see you on the next breakdown video.